Hello, 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 and welcome to the live video of the Women Empowerment Podcast.
DJ Tony Gun. She gon' take care of her kids, she truckin'. She a woman with a rig, she truckin'. She gon' take care of her kids, she truckin'. Yeah, she a boss, she do it big, she truckin'. She a boss, she do it big, she truckin'. She a woman with a rig, she truckin'.
So today on the show we have Miss Heidi from Hart Driver Solution. Miss Heidi is a recruiter, and she is one of the people that help you get into the driver's seat. She is the recruiter for She Trucking, and today the show will be hosted by Candice as well. I'm gonna bring them on, let them say hello, but tonight we will not be going live on Blog Talk Radio. We are going live with the video today. And so we're going to have an amazing show. And thank you all for listening, tuning in. Please share it out, okay? Because you're going to learn some things. And you can definitely ask questions. So please post your questions. We're going to read your questions. We're going to have a Q&A as well throughout the show. So welcome to, hello, Miss Candice, and hello, Miss, hold on, let me get Miss Candice back on here. This is a live show, so bear with us. Bear with us. All right. Hello, Miss Candice, and hello, Miss Heidi.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
Thank you for coming on the show today. We are so honored to have you. I know you have, how long have you been recruiting?
I've been for 5 years.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. And what brought you into the industry?
Well, I was a truck driver. So I grew up. I was actually a truck driver for 30 years. Rode in 2015. So whole life he was on the road. And you hear that trucking's in your blood. Well, it is, and it's in my blood. I never did feel I get tired, so I don't know how you guys do it, but I was just drawn to trucking, and I had a driver manager for 10 years before I moved over to the recruiting side.
Awesome. And my next question is going to be, what companies do you hire for?
Okay. Well, we hire for CM, we hire for USA Truck, we hire for only the dedicated accounts on JB Hunt, but we do hire for the intermodal and dedicated Hunt. They are Shugel, which is a really dedicated, and OTR. We hired for Western Flyer, and we hire for Bar None, has the highest pay package in the industry for company drivers. We hire for Heartland Express, and we hire for Black Horse Carriers. So those are those are the main ones that we hire for.
And for the new drivers, what company can you get them started at? Like, what company do you recommend for new drivers? And thank you all for tuning in. Please share this out. Thank you for tuning in. This is the first time the Women Empowerment Podcast is live. And we have Miss Heidi Hart. If you're just tuning in, she's a recruiter. So get your questions together.
Yeah, so if you're looking to get into school, is that what you mean? Getting into school, or if you're a recent grad? If you're looking to get into school, I will recommend companies that I don't even work with. Prime is one of those. I know that they have a really good program over there. If you come to me and you're needing school, I'm going to get you, which is out of Joplin, Missouri. They're the only one that I work with for school, but I do have a lot of knowledge about other carriers that are good carriers. So even if you don't want to do CFI, you're looking for other opportunities, I can certainly help guide you to carriers that I don't work with. And also, there are opportunities for you to do school right there at home. So we discuss those with the driver. We find out, are they going to be able to be away from home for you to go to school right there? And we can help you navigate your way through finding first of all, the right school program, whether it's through a carrier or right there in your hometown, what you're going to do after you graduate.
Oh, excellent. And then now, okay, I went through a community college. Okay, and so now I got to find the school on my own. What are what are the starter companies that you would recommend?
The starter companies that I would recommend would be CFI. They have a great program. The thing I love about CFI is that you never run as a team over there. So when you hop into the truck with your trainer, you're not in a team situation. Your trainer is going to be probably driving the first couple of days and showing you the ropes there, and then they're going to put you in the seat and they're going to be sitting beside you for your entire shift. And the truck never runs as a team. All day training from your driver. And then when your shift is over, when your 11-hour shift is over, that truck is going to stop to talk to your trainer, what went well, what didn't go well. But it's just really intense one-on-one training, and you don't ever do it.
Yeah, yeah. I tell people, stay away from that team, honey. Don't go to CRS. Don't go to Covenant. Don't go to don't go to CRS.
Not unless you have to.
CR England. Stay away from those companies. So
yeah,
like I said, if you
yeah,
thank
if
you.
Mm-hmm. If you can get into trucking, if that's the only way to get into trucking, if the only way for you to get into trucking is CRST or CR England or whatever, do it, hunker down, do it, check with, because more than likely, I'm going to be able to get you into a good situation.
Right. Call Miss Heidi. Call her. Call Miss Heidi. Call Miss Heidi first before you sign up for those companies. So.
Yeah.
That's why I said call her so she can get you in a better position. So well, I'm gonna turn the floor over to Miss Candice, and I'm gonna.
Hi, Heidi, can you hear me?
I sure can.
All right, beautiful. Hey, I got some questions for you, girl. What are the best carriers that you know of? Which will give you more bang for your buck and treat you like a driver family member other than just an employee?
Right. Well, I'll tell you, not a one size fits all carriers. Whatever may not work for the other, but there are companies that I grade. I grade the company, based on what I've seen personally, the feedback I get from drivers and stuff like that. So, when I think about carriers out there, people who are being successful, people who are doing well, I would definitely put the top of that list. I would put Erica on the top of that list, which is also a company. Google, Arnold, bar none, like I said, has the highest pay package. And those carriers really do like family. I don't know if I mentioned Western Flyer Express, but you have to have experience to be there. But those companies really treat you like family. And you're also going to get the miles that you need. You're going to have the paycheck that you need. And when you call someone, they're going to have answers for you, and you're not going to feel like off or that you've inconvenienced when you call. Nobody wants to have that feeling that when you call into your driver manager that, hey, oh my gosh, I've inconvenienced this person. They don't have time to talk to me, or they don't want to talk to me. When you get that we send you to, you're going to get people who care about you, people who, a lot of them have actually been drivers. So we work really hard to partner with carriers that are going to treat drivers well. I don't work with any carrier that I would not be comfortable sending my dad to, who was a driver for 30 years. And again, I would say CFI or Schugle, Western Flyer Express, bar none. I know I don't work personally because they don't work with it. I'm hearing more and more that Prime is to go to. And I certainly feel I have a lot of friends over there that are doing really well. So, and all of the ones that we work with are good. Heartland Express, they're all really good carriers.
Yeah, I heard Western Flyers is really good. I have a friend that works with them.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I think I cut out for a minute.
Yeah. Can you hear me now? Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I sure can.
Okay, good. Yeah, I heard. Western Flyers Express. That's a really good company to work for. A friend of mine works for them.
Yeah. It's if you're wanting to do lease purchase, I mean, whether you want to do company or lease purchase carrier, money, you will be successful.
Nice. Can I pick your brain with another question?
Sure.
All right. Now, how do you become a trainer? Now, what's the process that you have to go through? Like, I always hear like there's some companies that you can work for them for just 3 months, and then all of a sudden you take like a class or a course, and then you can become a trainer, which to me, that's ridiculous. You don't have enough experience if you're only on the road 3 months. That's okay.
I would not. Sorry. Someone's trying to messenger call me. So, to be a trainer, I recommend that you have at least 1 year of experience. You want to have at least 1 year of experience. And if you're with is throwing people in the training seat at 3 months, that's a good put in your time and then move to a different company. But to become a trainer, really all you have to do is go to a company. If you've got at least a year of experience and you have a good, clean record, most companies are eager to have a trainer if they hire people with less experience trainer, because there's not a lot of trainers out there. And I just would highly recommend, especially women, if you have a heart to train, please do, because it's so important. There's so many women coming into the industry and not enough trainers. So if you have a heart to do it, Put in at least a year before you train, and then just reach out to your recruiting department or to your driver manager and say, hey, I really want to get into training. And those people are going to connect you with the resources you need to start that. It's really pretty easy if you have at least a year of experience.
Yeah.
So we have a Facebook question. One of our Facebook users said, are there any West Coast connections that you have?
Yeah. Express, which does, just a lot of, they do all 48. So with Heartland Express, I've got OTR over on the West Coast Regional. So you can be home every weekend on the West Coast if you want to be, or you can do full OTR Express. And then I've also got another small company. It's interstate. Gosh, I don't have that in front of me. It's a small company, but I have a really small carrier out there that also does some dedicated stuff too. West Coast connections, I would really recommend Heartland Express because they've got OTR and they've got home every weekend. So whatever you want out there.
Nice.
That's awesome. Awesome. So I'm gonna let Candice go with this next question.
All right. Now, for the people who are just wondering what the process is to do this, how do you become an owner operator? Like, give me some examples and give me like, you know how you hear these horror stories where people just go under because the cost is so much and it's not a really good deal for them. How do you become an owner operator, and what is a good deal for people to do this so they can succeed and they don't just drown?
So there's a couple of ways that you can become an owner operator, and She Trucking really gives you the resources that you need, because there's two different ways that you can become an owner operator. One is to do a lease purchase program, which you hear a lot of horror stories about lease purchase programs, and there's a good reason for that, because most of them they're not designed for the driver to succeed. But I do have some really good lease purchase programs. I only work with lease purchase programs that are just loaded with safety nets for the drivers and a lot of guarantees. So, and I also have people that have gone through it and been successful and own trucks and stuff. So I only work with 3 lease purchase programs. Other ways to become those are a great way to become a owner operator. You don't have, a 10 payment, but you are ready to start making your moves that way. So She Trucking, I with and companies that you can go through and finance your own truck directly through them, and then either lease onto a company under their authority, or get your own authority. There's a lot of different pathways to becoming your own owner operator. What I really encourage you to do is to do a lot of research. Research the different types of lease purchase, research the different kinds of finance options that are directly either through or through one of the finance companies that are out that She Trucking works with. I know I've watched personally with some of their so there's different ways to do it. What I would say is don't just write off lease purchase because some companies out there that have a lease that's going to and Hard Driver Solutions works with 3 of those, and I can tell you more about those when you guys call me, or you can reach out to me on Facebook. But those are really the 2 ways that you get into it. But research, if you've got a mentor that is already an owner operator, reach out to them. We've got a lot of women that are owner operators. Reach out and give you some of their knowledge. Of course, I'm always available to help you guys also.
Great, fantastic. Now, one more, if you don't mind me asking. Now, when you first start driving, even like when you first start off and 5 years later, like how long should you stay with a company? Like, let's say, you just started, obviously you want to stay with them probably for at least a year, but what about if you're 5 years in? How long should you, if you switch companies, how long should you stay with that company?
That you want to do a lot of research before you make it, whether it's your first company or your third company or whatever. You want to do research, because when you go to a company, you need to at least spend 6 months. You need to lay down at least 6 months. A year is better. But what I like to see people do, and what we do at Hard Driver Solutions, I know all of you ladies and gentlemen too, I'm sure all of y'all have at some point been custom fitted for a dress at a wedding, if whether you're a bridesmaid or a bride, or you've been custom fitted for a tuxedo. Solutions, when you call us, it's not like when I answer the phone, I'm like, today I'm going to sell CFI. When I answer the phone, I talk to every driver. I find out what their needs are, immediate needs, like what's their home time needs, what's their pay, what kind of pay do they have to have, what's their bottom line, what kind of equipment they want to run. And then we talk about their long-term goals. And this is important when you're thinking about how long do I stay with a carrier. You've got to think about what your long-term goals are. And then you've got to devise a career path. And at Hard Driver Solutions, that's what we listen to you. We find a company that matches you, custom fitted for you, and then also we try to get you with a carrier that's going to fit your long. So now that's not always possible because sometimes you don't have enough experience, or you've got a couple of dings on your DAC or something like that we've got to fix first. And so we get you with the carrier that's going to get your immediate needs. And then after you've been there for, long enough for us to get the dings off your DAC or to get the need, then move to a different carrier. And this on your own, do too. You want to try to get to a carrier that's going to fit your immediate needs and also your long-term goals. Like, operator, you want to get with a carrier that is going to hit your immediate needs and also provide you with an opportunity to be an owner operator. Or if you can't get with a carrier that's got the whole shebang, you need to think, okay, I'm going to be with this carrier for a year. I'm going to lay down the experience I need. I'm going to have a ticket that falls off, and then I'm going to, and then move to the carrier where I'm going to be able to either run my own truck that I bought at the dealership or through a finance company, or lease purchase with the carrier of my choice. So you've got to think about your immediate goals and then your long-term amount of time you're going to spend at a carrier on those things. If you don't have a plan yet, you need to start doing that. You've got to. And it's okay if all you want to ever be is I'm going to tell y'all, my daddy was a company driver for years, okay? He didn't ever want to be an owner operator. That's okay. We lived well. My daddy was making $50,000, $60,000 in the 80s and 90s, which was a lot of money. And so we lived well. He has retired well. His house is paid off. His vehicles are paid off. And he's got retirement plus a huge nest egg that he set for himself. Just being a company OTR driver. But set these goals for yourself, whatever it is. If you ever find the best company for company OTR drivers or company dedicated drivers or company regional, whatever your goal is.
Awesome information. You're right. Plan for success. I can't stress that enough. I mean, we're going into 2020, so this is a good time to plan for success, right? So if y'all are just tuning in, this is Miss Heidi Hart with Hart Driver Solutions. Please go ahead and leave your comments. And thank you all for tuning in. I see Miss April, I see Latanya, I see Sabrina and LaShawn. So thank you all for tuning in. Please share this out if you are just tuning in as well. And I have a question for you as well. My next question is, what are the challenges you face with being a recruiter?
You have the obvious challenges of just everybody's fighting, right? So everybody's got empty trucks. So if you got a CDL, you've got a golden ticket. You're going to have 1,000 people beating on your door, and just one haystack of 1,000. But I will tell you what I have to offer you with the company that fits your needs. But the other biggest is far as a driver comes to me and they don't long-term plan. They don't have a long-term vision or goal for their career. You want to build that. And then just practically, I would say probably 10 drivers that reach out to me have their resume in front of them. They've got, it's been real easy. Pulse just a, and autofills driver pulse, and Heart Driver Solutions has driver pulse, so you can find us. But you want to have a resume, and preferably one that's printed out, and so that has the dates that you work for the different companies. If you are first driving John, you want to have your CDL ready, have your medical card ready. And for those of you who haven't been keeping you want to have long forms ready. A lot of people lose those, toss, just misplace them. Those are, long form is just as important as the medical card itself, and companies. So you want to have with all of your information and the now I know online it only says 3, but most carriers are going to, so you want to have 10 years of job history, and just have your basic information ready. Make it, we're going to make a walk into a door somewhere and get a non-driving job. And then when you call, you have all that information available. The other thing is be true, because a lot of something out that is not going to get caught. If you tell me or any recruiter when you're talking to them, it's always better to be truthful about how many tickets you have, what kind of drug screening are you able to pass? Okay, are you urine or hair follicle? Be a criminal background. Honest, we can get you set up with the company that's going to be able to work those. They're not honest, we're going to send you to it's all courts, and then that we could have gotten you into Oregon. And it also is just always disappointing to get a no. So my job and my goal is to set you up for a yes every time with a good carrier. But you've got to be honest. Your tickets and accidents history, your criminal background, and things like that, and your job history.
And my next question to you is, what companies are requiring the hair follicle test? So people don't, they don't know in case they are dirty, their hair are dirty. Can you name some of those companies that has the hair follicle test so they can be prepared?
Yeah, absolutely. Really, most of the carriers are doing hair follicle right now. CFI is a hair follicle. JB Hunt, Schneider is a hair follicle. I do have carriers that are not. I have USA, very good carrier. I could give you 1,000 reasons why that's a good carrier. Western Flyer, Bar None, and Heartland Express all do urine only. And I'm glad we're talking to me, because this is something people don't like to talk about. But because, in many of the states in our country now, marijuana, medical marijuana and recreational marijuana is, they go home on and use, smoke that in your system for 6 months. That's going to stay in your hair follicle. So if, on your, you smoked a joint, you're not going to pass a hair follicle months. And with me about that. Now, I will tell you this, This is me being real with you. Okay. If you are talking to an in-house recruiter, if you talk to CFI directly, if you talk to anybody, which by the way, US Express has gone here. If you talk to any of these carriers and they ask you if you can pass it, you say, yes, ma'am. If you can't, then you need to let that one different one. Never tell the company the truth about that, because, and I'll tell you, it sounds like I'm giving you bad, telling you to do something. But if you talk to any of the recruiters, they don't want you to tell them these things like that. Now, Hard Driver Solutions, so you can going to help you navigate through. You can say, hey, Heidi, I had a little bit too much fun on New Year's Eve. Or, some people use cannabis oil for pain. We never cannabis oil. She started using it for really well for her. If you use cannabis oil for brains or joint, works great. I've heard lots of reviews. It works great, but it can follicle test. So with myself about that, you do not want to be honest about that, because they don't want to hear that, because they have to disqualify you for you tell them the truth about that. That's one of the reasons why I mentioned that there's third parties out there, but come through me, because we're through what carriers.
That's right. I actually had a meeting today with the clearinghouse. And so this is what I was in a meeting with all day and all the time, where they are talking about when you go to DOT, if you have an accident, they trying to get the mouth swabs going, and different things like that coming to the scene, where you're going to be tested in different kind of ways, and these hair follicle tests. And I was, explaining that as a Black woman, if I have braids in my hair, that's an automatic fail. Having weave in your hair is an automatic fail. And so you have to know this before you go. Because if you use your regular hair, you will not fail. But if you have braiding hair, you will fail, because whatever chemicals or whatever they use, honey, if you go overseas and it's legal over there, so it's in their head. And we are failing these tests. And what he gave me was the statistics of 12% fails. And they understand, they know it's a problem. So I do want to say that he did say as well, I'm gonna go live with him as well. He'll be on one of the shows, but I'm gonna set that up too. But he was also saying that the hair follicle for some companies are not DOT recordable. So you need to be honest. Like she said, let them know the truth, so it won't prolong your process, and we can find a company that's right for you. If you're entering into this industry, I want to say today, right now, if you're thinking about getting into the trucking industry, stop now. That way you'll be ready for April, March, around that time, and we can get you into a school and get you going. So thank you so much, because I think we want to keep drivers aware. We want to keep them in the know, so they can stay employed. They can be employed and have a great transition. And a lot of people ask that question. So if you're tuning in live, definitely post your questions. I'm gonna look for the question, and I'm gonna thank you, Lady J, for tuning in. Lady Jane, hey, Lady Jane, and I'm gonna give the floor to Miss Candice and let her go to the next question.
Hey, a question just popped into my head. It wasn't, rehearsed or anything. It's pretty simple, though, if you don't mind me asking.
Did our broadcast freeze up? Well, let me see. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, I can see you.
Okay, sorry, y'all. This is a live show, so we're having technical difficulties at the moment, but we're back. This is the Women Empowerment Podcast.
Okay.
If you're wondering what's going on, and so normally we do this on Blog Talk Radio. It's normally an audio show, but I feel like y'all need to get visuals and y'all need to really understand the empowerment that we are giving you. And so today we decided to come on and do a live show so you can definitely connect, ask questions as well. And then next week, this Sunday, we'll be back on the Blog Talk Radio doing the audio again. And let me get back to Miss Candice question.
Hi, can you hear me, Heidi? Okay, here's a question for you. It wasn't one of the questions on the list, but I think it's a pretty good question because I've been wondering this myself. Since a lot of companies are just going underwater, and a lot of major companies are going underwater, and since you're a recruiter and my aspect of a driver, I think it's going to be switching. Is it switching to a company market instead of a driver's market? What do you think? Do you feel it's switching a little bit?
I think it's becoming more of a driver's market every day. That's why you're seeing companies who haven't been driver focused in the past fall. Okay, so companies know that it's because you see butting their door, but these are companies that have always been about. I know there are people out there that have. They are the minority. Okay, some will have a negative. They're not very driver focused. The companies that have not been driver focused need to get driver focused. They're going to have to, because they're going to fall. Those are the ones that are going to have their doors closed. Let me explain to you. And drivers don't believe this, but I will tell you it's true, because all of the companies that I work with, which are good, don't work with, have even more empty trucks. So all of these companies are trying to find drivers. My dad, 15, and he and his generation seated % of the trucks in 2015. Them have left. So there's this huge hole. That's why she trucking is so important, because we're bringing women in to fill those places. Now it's a driver's industry, and the companies that are not driver focused and their doors are going to close. So your companies becoming more and more driver focused, and for the driver, it really is.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering myself, because you see all these huge companies just going under, and it's like all those drivers are going to different companies. They're scrambling, they're looking for work, and you don't blame them, but it makes you nervous, because you're thinking, okay, is there going to be enough jobs? And you don't really necessarily think that. Yeah. Did you see what I'm saying? That, like, as a driver, and you're looking around and you're noticing these companies going under, and it's like and all the drivers have to go somewhere else. So is there going to be enough freight, or the company's going to be hiring, drivers, and there's still a high need?
Well, let me tell you let me give you a statistic, okay? Right now, there are 11 loads that need to be moved for every driver in the industry. For every driver in the industry that's in a truck, are 11 loads that need to be moved. That's the driver shortage.
Wow.
We've got they're saying something like we have to, they're saying by 2025 we need to add almost drivers to cover the shortage that we have right now. And then also Generation X is starting to retire. I'm part of Generation X. I'm 43. I'm at the very end of that generation. The top of that generation is 54, I think. So those guys are starting to retire. And got the boomers. Most of them are out of their seats. And then my generation, Generation X, is they're all starting. And so, yeah, but there's plenty of freight out there. There are plenty of empty trucks with good carry anytime. And I really think that She Trucking part of saving the industry, because we've got to fill these empty seats, because without industry country will suffer, because we're not going to get the freight moved. We need to get moved. I mean, every single thing. So, it's really important, but drivers don't need to worry about the industry right now, because it's a driver's market. The companies are the ones that are going to need to worry and start getting more driver focused, because they've got to attract drivers and keep them in order to keep their doors opened. And that means better pay, better benefits, better treatment. Customers, as a driver, you are a customer for that carrier. Driver or an owner operator, you are a customer for that carrier, and you should be treated like a customer, same as when you walk somewhere else, you're a customer.
You're absolutely right. I agree with you 110%. Really quick, I want to show y'all what I was speaking of. This clearinghouse is coming soon, January the 6th. Okay, so January the 6th, all owner operators, all carriers, and all drivers that are applying after January the 6th will be required to enter into the clearinghouse drug and alcohol policy. So this is what I was speaking of. That, like I said, we had a meeting today talking about this. So here it is. January the 6th is coming soon, okay? I need y'all to get ready, and get prepared. You understand? You understand? This is the Women Empowerment Podcast, and it's live. And we are we've been here almost 45 minutes. So I want to kind of wrap up the show. If you, Candice, I'm going to ask you to ask one more question, your final best question. If you have anything else, I'm going to ask my final best question, and then we're going to do a wrap up. And if you have any questions for Miss Heidi, the most important questions that we want to know is, how can we contact you? If you definitely, let's if you can tell me how they can contact you, that's going to be very important. But if you want to ask any questions, go ahead and drop them now. This will be the time, because we're getting ready to wrap up this show. So Candice, I'm going to turn the
mic on to me, huh? All right, one more question. How far ahead should you look into your career, and why? Like, when you first start your career, should you look like 5 years ahead, 4 years ahead, or just want to get through that first year without any incidences? And like, you don't want to look too far and create anxiety for yourself, but how far should you look ahead in your career to set yourself up?
That is a great question. And while she's thinking about that, let me just do a little promo here. Definitely download the Trucker Tools app. Definitely download the Trucker Tools app. It can help you while you're on the road. So right now, once we get off this live, definitely download Trucker Tools, okay? If you're looking for their website, go to truckertools.com and check them out. So Miss Heidi, I'm going to let you.
Hi guys, it was just being on here. I'm always be involved working. If you guys are looking for advice or to make a career move, call 748-34. You can always message me on Facebook as well. You can text me. That's my cell phone, 417-4213. If you got something urgent, text me. SOS, hey, hi, I need you. You can call me, text me, or you can instant message me on Facebook.
before we get off the show, I have a question. What things would disqualify you from getting hired? Did we talk about that?
I'm sorry, I missed that question. What was that question?
What type of things would disqualify you for getting hired? Like, so what do drivers need to look for, that would disqualify them for getting hired? I know we talked about, if they don't pass the test, but is there some other things that can disqualify them?
Every company's own hiring. So every company's going to have a guidelines of what you can and cannot have, what qualifies. So it might disqualify you with one company, you would be okay. But usually when a carrier, they're applicants, all of them, they're looking at how many last 3, how many accidents you've had in the last 3 years. They're looking at how many tickets you've had in the last 3 years. They're looking at whether or not you have any failed drug tests, and they're looking at your criminal background. No matter what you've of those things, there's a carrier that will work for you. And what I do is I go over all those questions with you in an application, and I match you with. But those are the 5 things that they're going to look at: criminal background, your tickets, accidents, if you've had any pre-employment drug tests that you failed.
Okay, and I want to get back to Miss Candice's question that she asked. So before we go off the show, we are 47 minutes in. Like I said, we got about another 10 minutes to show up, and we're gonna get Miss Heidi question on here.
Okay, what are the most important things about choosing a company? That's my last question. I think that's really important, especially when you first start off.
Yeah, when you're choosing a carrier, you want to look at, you got to look at yourself and what you want. Look at your goal, your 5-year goal, and then you have to have a recruiter, those goals at you. But you want to look at pay, you want to look at home time, you want to look at equipment and ask questions about equipment because live. A lot of people, equipment's important. They're going to be home, have amenities like APU, inverters. If they don't have a refrigerator, can you put a refrigerator in there? Things like that. Whether it's an automatic or a manual transmission, and then do they have the home time options that you need, and do they have what and when you get raises and how. Those are the things you want. Your first year, you did. Am I going to team with my trainer? Be running as a solo, and after I have an opportunity to be solo. Do I have to be team my whole first things you want to ask?
Nice. That's well worded. Thank you very much.
That was an awesome question, and this has been an awesome show. I want to thank you for coming on today. And thank you for co-hosting with me, Candice. You are amazing. And so, yeah, I hope everyone have learned a lot from this show. Let me check the questions real quick to see if you have any questions. Hey, Stephanie. I don't see any questions at the moment, but if you can drop one more time, just drop in and let us know, and tell us how they can reach you.
You can reach me at 417 483-4213. You can call or text me on that number. You can also reach out to me on Facebook and instant message me. And I look forward to hearing from you guys and helping you, the industry, any questions you have, and help you realize the goals that you personally.
Thank you so much again for coming on the show. This is the Women Empowerment Podcast, and we are signing out. Thank you for tuning in, ladies.
DJ Tony Gunn. She gon' take care of her bitch, truckin'.
She truckin'.
A woman with a rig, she truckin'. She gon' take care of her kids, she truckin'. Yeah, she a boss, she do what she is, she truckin'. She a boss.
And please share. And tell someone about trucking. Tell someone about Heart Driver Solutions. And definitely tell somebody about the Women Empowerment Podcast, because we come together to empower other women.
Yes, we do.
We'll see you Sunday.